and I enjoyed both of them, each for their different takes on it. But they ended Camelot much sooner than Merlin. Merlin ran for quite a while. Funny story, my mother's real name is Merlin, says Arnie. Huh. Did anyone make it to the end of the TV show Merlin and actually kind of it was an interesting twist, actually. They wrapped it up really well.
Right, I have coffee. I have two.
Have you seen the show? Did you watch the show Merlin or Camelot?
No. After
No,
watching
and
Reacher
no.
last night, that was quite good.
Reacher?
Yeah.
Have you seen, obviously, Jack Reacher?
Is it related? Are the two related? I haven't seen the films, no.
You got to watch the films. The Last of Us, yes, I so want to watch that, having played the game on my PlayStation 2, was it? PlayStation 3? I don't know.
I'm hearing good things about that. It's on my list. What channel's that on?
And I have, well, The Last of Us is coming out for PC in March.
Yes, true.
I believe.
Now TV. Now TV.
Yes. So for those of you interested, The Last of Us Part 1 is coming out on the 3rd of March 2023 for the PC. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. If you pay for a subscription to a TV platform, you should get rid of the ads.
Yeah, totally. Ugh.
But it's like Netflix have done. They've got their full price subscription to Netflix, and that's ad free. Then there's a cheap one for half the price, which is supported by ads.
They do that on Prime as well. I thought that was quite cool. Because you get like the free to Prime, don't you? But then you also get some of the stuff that's free if you're watching with ads. And it reminds me of just TV.
What on earth? That is just random.
Zombie Golf. Please tell me that's not from the game, because it's putting me off wanting to buy it now.
No, that's not from the game.
I'd heard really good things about Last of Us.
It is. It's a cracking game. It's the only reason I bought the PlayStation when I did.
Right, let's crack on then. So, welcome to Roundtable 89. We're almost at 100.
So, anyone hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Are you there?
Sorry, in-joke from last week. Yes, I can hear you this time.
Awesome. Welcome to Roundtable 89 then, where we get to catch up with the team and find out what we've got planned for the coming week. And a quick recap on what we've not been doing last week. It's been very busy. We'll be doing some Q&A afterwards, as you all know, and probably some custom jokes and really dodgy tweets and things. Follow us on YouTube and socials if you've not already. There's a huge list of them under README, and it really, really, really helps, and we love you. Weekly maintenance. So I'm going to pull a 6-1 there. We're not going to be doing weekly maintenance tomorrow morning at 9 AM. Reason being, all the subs go through on the 1st, and obviously if we take the servers down while the subs are coinciding with Wednesday being the 1st, bad things are going to happen, and it causes us extra work. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to be doing the maintenance on Thursday morning, same time, same WNG channel. That's that for
Indeed.
us. That double six, eh? You weren't expecting that, were you? It's changing.
So no maintenance tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm going to switch off the automated server shutdowns for tomorrow morning as well.
That would be funny. Where's
Otherwise,
Nani? He's in bed. Okay.
Yeah. Where's DJ? He's having a lie-in too. So yeah, we'll shut that off, and I don't need to reschedule them for Thursday. I'll just get up and hit the shutdown button on all the servers when I get up on Thursday morning. And then by the time I've had a shower, they'll all have closed down.
So when we get up on Thursday morning, it's probably about, 10, 11 a.m., we'll shut down the servers. We'll have a good break for the weekend.
Yeah, no more servers.
Forever, yes.
How about that?
Definitely forever.
Yeah.
We're going to save ourselves a lot of work. It's the most efficient way of doing things. We just shut the servers down and everything just flatlines. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's like improving the performance on them by removing all the structures.
Yeah.
It's probably not too far from the truth, Wacky. That's where we have some of those. But, what can you do? Flatline the service Thursday morning. So don't forget, Wednesday you're all good to play. Thursday you are not good to play in the morning because we have some cool stuff coming, and we'll go over that now.
Oh, is that what we're supposed to be doing?
I think
is
so.
That
Yeah.
plan for the season?
Or we can go on with some more smutty jokes and general dad humour. Yeah.
Well, let's I suppose get the kind of semi-important stuff out of the way first.
Get the cow into the bag. Yes.
Yeah. So, as of Thursday morning, this is for the ARC cluster. All the loot tables are going to change.
Only get saddle blueprints if you use old school Doom cheats and play 24/7 a day.
What I was actually thinking is you have to search the entire ARC cluster for this one single artifact. That unlocks a hidden menu on the main menu screen of ARC, where you then have to type in special codes that you find on the Explorer notes to unlock items in the game.
It's going to be like an event. It's going to be fine. Don't worry.
You totally missed that, didn't you, Nani?
No.
I just described the unlock system for Vampire Survivors.
Yes, I did miss that then. Damn that game. Damn it to hell.
Dear. Anyways,
14 hours I'll never get back on a Saturday.
A little earlier in the week, we put out a question in the feedback channel for ARC.
Yep.
And that question I will now put into the stream chat for you. There we go. And this one was specifically targeted at saddles, saddle blueprints, and saddle quality, where to find them and how they're distributed. There was overwhelming support for option 2.
You're not supposed to be voting for it in the channel, guys. We've already done the voting.
Yeah, the voting is done. It was 31-4 in favour of option 2. And that's good because option 2 was my preferred option anyway, and I believe it was possibly yours.
It was, yes.
So,
way to go.
What that means is the cave loot boxes will be modified so that they will have an extra loot slot in them.
Just had a really
that
good
will
idea.
Always. Oh, you have?
Yeah. What we do is we change them all so a chest pops up in the middle of your screen. You get this really funky music going, and it just pops up what you've won.
I could actually do that, you know.
That would be cool.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It would be as simple as on event somebody opening loot chest, pop up this widget, and in that widget it would just play the video.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. So yes, we could do crazy shit like that, but we
And
don't
make
have
it
time for that. at the moment.
really, really, really loud. You know, ear rape kind of loud.
Oh dear Lord. That would be awful. So back to where we were at. Every chest in a cave, or every cave loot chest, will have an extra loot slot in it, and they will be guaranteed to drop a saddle if they are green, blue, yellow, or red. The saddle will be between journeyman and ascendant quality, and there will be a percentage chance that that saddle will drop as a blueprint.
Sweet.
And that will be the primary source of saddles and saddle blueprints. So you will know which colors to farm and which caves to go to, because some caves have different color chests to others and things because they're easier. And then you just like farm the shit out of green and you'll eventually get the small saddle that you want. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly at 80. And we did a little bit of math further down. Option 2 actually worked out better in terms of your chances of getting what you wanted. Option 1, while it looked very attractive, the number of saddles in the game made it very too random. This also means, yes, that the chests dotted around the cluster which drop blueprints will be disappearing. So hopefully people will know where to go now to get their saddles, they'll know what to farm, and eventually they'll get what they want.
Yes.
Along with doing this work, I've made the loot tables much simpler. So it's easy for us to tweak drop rates compared to the default loot tables that ARC uses because they're massively overly complex. So if we
Yeah.
find that something is not dropping quite right, so the percentage on the blueprint drop is not working as well as we intended, or it's overperforming, we should be able to tweak that fairly easily.
Before I forget, speaking of drops,
Mhm.
or kind of related to drops, has anybody been doing OSDs? And are the
Yes,
shields
they
actually
have.
working? Emos mentioned something earlier, so can somebody confirm for me the shields, the standard vanilla shields, are working and fuelable?
Yes, they are.
Also, I thought they were.
We had somebody pass 200 waves on. I meant to mention this actually earlier, that we had somebody pass 200 waves on a purple OSD over the last week.
Were they using pentagram? Though is the big question.
Extinction seems to be a lot more stable now for OSDs and element veins. I don't know. It's going to kick me in the arse now, but I don't know if you remember the last time we had an extinction crash.
It's been a while now.
It has.
hasn't
It
it?
has.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has sorted itself out. It's due to the massive amount of effort and work that went in.
Yeah.
I had to blow our own trumpet there. I had to. Keep an extinction crash in 5 minutes. Yeah, totally.
We figured the extinction crashes were due to the Better Horde mod that was that was in the game, because it does some funky stuff. I managed to get the source code for that mod and had to dig around in it, and that's then what enabled us to incorporate some of its functionality into our mod and then remove it after I rewrote it.
Move the spaghetti.
Yes, I fired the bolognese into space with a large cannon. So yeah, OSD's element veins on extinction seem to be a tad more stable. The recent issues suffering from Genesis 2. It's not. I don't believe it's related to Genesis 2, if that makes any sense. I believe it's related to one of our mods that we use that has custom dynos in it that does funky things.
As such, we're going to be removing Krakens and all the dinosaur mods.
it's not really viable, so we just have to live with it. But yeah, most if not all crashes we're getting now are due to problems with mods. Very little is actually due to base arc, and we can tell when we get the crash reports in, or we get a crash that has no crash log. It's typically not arc related. Oh, did I get something nice said? Yeah, we're on a mission here to try and remove or slim down the number of mods, get rid of stuff that is just not being used or adding value to the cluster, because I have no idea how they're going to handle the transition from UE4 to UE5. And as I'm warning people now, ARC mods are built in UE4. So anything that we use, if they force an upgrade to UE5, anything we use is going to have to be rewritten.
Yep. But it's either
So,
or
well, it's if they release it as a patch to ARC, we're going to be forced to update.
Yeah, and that's going to break a load of mods.
At which point everything stops working. So they better come out with a real plan for migrating their community, or offer it as an alternative download, in which case we'll run another server with it. And my take on Arc 1 Evolved, that's cool, Arc Evolved, is we start it, and we can discuss this and stuff like that, but I think my personal opinion is we start it off with the first map and we run that and we do a progression. We don't immediately throw up an entire cluster. We put up the island or whatever the first map is they convert, let everyone play it and finish it with configuration changes as opposed to mods and plugins and stuff like that. Maybe,
if they do force the upgrade, as people are talking about it, would be a perfect opportunity for a wipe and then add in functionality as it becomes available.
Yeah.
I only say this as several people have mentioned it now, and there isn't a lynching going on. Uh-oh.
You leave my Tesla alone. I'm too attached to her.
We could always take a backup. That people get like 6 months into the wipe and go, hey, we're rolling back. It's all done now.
Or we could progressively switch. No, if they force the update, that's going to just wreck any cluster.
That's what we're saying, Ryan.
Their live one too.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, Ryan. If all the mods currently that we have, like the dinosaurs and stuff like that from the collection and all that, are all built in UE4, and if they just one day decide to go, oh, we're updating the whole game to UE5 auto patch, that is going to remove a lot of the mods. Zero we can do about that. John did do it. It's probably his job.
I'm thinking they're going to have to release a second client.
This is wildcard we're talking about there. Who knows?
How do you rewrite a whole engine for a big game this big without breaking it?
And I guess we're talking Arc 2's due as well, so how much server space do we want?
Yeah, it's actually they employed. I have a feeling the company that did the conversion from PC to Switch are also being employed to assist with the migration. or upgrade to UE5. Yeah, that just, thank you, John. Just confirmed what I said.
Yeah. Don't you swear at me, Nuka. Bad language and all that.
So anyway, there'll be more news coming out about that. There'll be a lot to talk about, and we'll keep you all informed as we learn more. And hopefully, any of you guys and girls can share information with us if you find it before we do. But no, there's no Arc 2 gameplay footage yet. They're holding off on their announcements because I think they want to. They're saving up some news, I believe, or they want to make sure that their news is right before they announce it. That Jeremy dude
Pickles.
said previously that they haven't officially announced it yet because they're waiting. Yeah. Again, John to the rescue. We haven't officially announced Arc UE5 upgrade yet because there's other major things we want to show then as well. So it's kind of backlogged on more news.
There is if you want to go searching for it. And again, it's John's info, not mine. Apparently, Equitus has got some mock-up UE5 renders of what things might look like on his Discord.
There's a few of those kicking around actually. There's a number of people that have imported assets into UE5 and just kind of like there's one dude walking around the island with a very limited set of dinos kicking about.
Ooh, pretty.
The UE5 videos do. You got that. Willing to bet that somebody still goes through that, JD.
A collision will be hopefully be much better. One thing that really got me about Arc was the way the dinos just stick their bodies through everything and anything. That was the only thing that really bugs me about it, to be honest. The Arc vanilla game, when you see a Bronto with its head inside a cliff. Well, actually, it's all the physics stuff actually. So like when you get a dino that's just standing there spinning on the spot, or a Bronto with a stegosaur up its arse, and it's just like that really spoils it. I always felt there was too many dinosaurs in Ark. Not variants, but the quantity of them in such a small space.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they'd be living that close together.
No.
Some would, some wouldn't.
But there's been lots of attempts at mods to address that. So more lifelike dinosaur behavior and stuff like that, with territorial dinosaurs, better herd behavior, and all sorts. But none of them have ever come to fruition. Even one of them got sponsored, I believe. Was it The Hunted?
Yeah, I think so.
But then I did some reading up on that, and it's since been abandoned.
That was the one with the herding behaviors and stuff, wasn't it? And the apex control routes and stuff. That looked really cool.
I think it got abandoned. He tried to take on something too big there because it hooks right into some files which you really shouldn't mess with when you're modding, which makes it non-stackable and a pain to update. I think he did it as a total conversion as opposed to a mod or a map extension, which makes life a hell of a lot more difficult. But anyways, so there's lots happening in the Ark world. Just to recap on what we were talking about before that, yeah, loot tables are going to change. I'll be updating the documentation on the site so that you will actually be able to see what is classed as small, medium, large, and platform saddle. I will be double checking and updating ocean crates, desert crates, and something else as well. I can't remember what, to work with the same system. So Journeyman to Ascendant, Chance at Blueprint type system, rather than just stuffing out Ascendant blueprints and stuff all the time. So a little bit more variety, and it's kind of gets a bit better. The second change we've got coming in for Arc, which will coincide with a release of a new version of our mod, and that's happening on Thursday as well. Obviously, everyone who had a Tech Reaper will be... I've put 2 icons into the game that were out of the ones that were suggested in feedback. And we'll run one of them for a week, and then I'll flip it over to the other one, and people can tell me which one they prefer. Saying that, though, I would love to put that icon that AT just put in there as the Reaper reward icon.
It's actually a good idea.
Cool. Yeah, I like it.
I was here and my shit got removed. Yeah.
Which I could do, because it just make the file, drag it, and
That
away
would
you go.
look good as well. That would work.
I think it would. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can read the text. It's just the fact that you'd recognize it as a tombstone. I wonder what the tombstone icon looks like in Arc itself, if that would be recognizable. Then I could flip that over right now. Any icons that are currently in the game, I can assign without any sort of update. We just use them, and basically any icon that's in Arc at all. So that'll be happening. Well, if you simplify it a little bit, great. Yes, there is Nuka, and there is an icon for it. I just don't have it immediately to hand. So Arc Gravestone. It looks, yeah, it's... Do you know what? The Arc Gravestone is not what I would say is a stereotypical looking
cool
gravestone.
Yeah, it doesn't look as cool as that one. That one looks awesome.
No. The other one's more icon-y. It's more like...
It looks like a paving slab.
Yeah. It's like one of those like signs you find in a street saying like swimming pool this way or police station that way.
Or around where I live, Boz was here, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, Mafia.
Oh, hang on. What did I see? I parked in the car park the other day. I pulled up, and my girlfriend looks out the front window of the car. And she goes, "Who's a slut?" And I'm like, "What?" She says, "On the sign there." I said, "Oh, that." There's some girl's name with a big dick drawn on it, and like so and so's a slut written underneath. That's what will be on the sign around here. But anyway,
like when I took Liz to Stoke, where I live for the first time, and we're driving into my hometown, and she just looks out to the car and she goes, "That building's on fire!" And it was, to be fair, and I just looked at her and was like, "Yeah, it's always on fire. What are you worried about?" And she never got that. True story. I remember Leroy. Of course I remember Leroy. Dude with the big nose.
Oh, and there's another update too. As part of the mod updates, we had some suggestions a while ago from players to incorporate a mod called Loot Picker Upper or something like that. And it turned out that mod was fundamentally flawed in the fact... It was
a bit shit, basically.
Yeah. It was a bit shit because any player could change the settings and do stuff like fly down a woven trench, hoovering up all the eggs without actually doing anything. Or in the case of docks, fly over the nests with the nest guardians and hoover up the eggs on there. So we had a number of people coming to us and saying, I didn't get my boss loot or stuff like that. So we thought, well, okay, let's just make a better one. So, assuming it tests okay tomorrow, the update to the mod, you push the key. Did I put it on? I put it on the B key for bag. I know it's push to talk, but it's the only one that didn't conflict. I did have it on the G key, and unfortunately, G when you're in creative mode is destroy structure. And I was running around mashing the G key, trying to figure out why all the bags I was trying to pick up were disappearing. And I probably spent about 2 days on that.
So if we're going to bind it to the voice key, then and we also go cross-cluster with Xbox, so every time you pick up a bag, you can scream Xbox off and try and shut someone's Xbox off. That would be cool.
That'd be awesome. Can't we just put the sound file in the game?
Do the ALEX one as well. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you kill a boss, it screams at you, Alexa, play Radio 1 or something like that.
No. Shh. Back off.
There's a what is it? There's an app for Alexa that does some really fucking hilarious fart sounds.
That's not even an app anymore. That's built in now.
Oh, is it built in?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't know if you'll pick this up.
Alexa, give me a wet fart.
Here comes a wet fart. Try asking me for a power fart.
No.
Or say random.
No, Alexa, stop.
Okay.
We do not need a power fart. No. I don't know if you got that, but yeah, Alexa's awesome.
It didn't pick up the fart. The sound suppression got it, but yeah.
Right, that's it. We got to do this. Hang on. Oh shit! My power lead's come out now. Oh, she's died. Alexa's dead. Oh.
Do you know when we do these, I mute mine so it won't react because it's literally underneath my 2 monitors at the middle of the desk.
Alexa, give me a power fart. No?
Yeah, we got that.
You heard it.
Alexa, give me a wet fart.
Here comes a wet fart. Try asking me for a squishy fart.
Oh no.
Alexa,
It
Alexa,
films out the wet
stop.
fart.
Stop. Back off.
Okay.
There we go. Much fun to be had.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, so we've made it so that if you bash the B key for bag and you're standing and not mounted on a dinosaur, it'll go out to, 3 foundations radius and hoover up any loot bags or death caches for you and put those straight into your inventory. If it'll keep pulling in items as well until you are either encumbered or you hit your slot cap, at which point it won't let you pick up any more items if you are going to be encumbered by picking that item up, and it'll say you left some shit on the floor because you were too heavy. If you're mounted, pickup range expands to 9 foundations radius, and it puts the items straight into your dinosaur's inventory. So, say you're doing an OSD or an element vein, and you're killing those dragons. You want the claws off them, and the bags there decay in about 5 seconds. You could be mounted on your dino and have it collecting the death caches as you go around. It will also pick up your death cache and that of anybody in your tribe, but it will not collect other tribes' death bags. So, say you're in a boss fight and you know you're dying, you can race around the boss arena, hitting the B key on your dino, hoover up all the saddles that you've dropped and all that stuff. Yep, B as well. So mounted, it goes into your dino's inventory. unmounted, it goes into your inventory. And it'll pop up at the top of the screen saying all death cache is in range collected, or all loot in range collected, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so the times when you kill the dragon, for example, in a boss arena, and your dinos harvest it, but what happens is all the loot goes in a bag, drops on the floor, and sits underneath the dragon. You check the dragon's inventory, it's got no loot on it. You check your dinos, they've got no loot on it, and then you get ported out the arena. And all your fed shards were sitting in a bag underneath the dragon. You can just walk up to the dragon, push the B key, and if there's a bag, it'll hoover it up, and then check the dragon's inventory, that kind of thing. So
Don't look at that window anymore.
Hopefully it'll make things a lot easier. We've just got to check. The last thing we've got to check before we release is it's definitely not picking up other tribes' death bags. It's like an improved version of the F key, when you throw shit on the floor and it's all in a big pile and you run up to it and push F and it hoovers it all up. It's just got a bigger range on it. I think that's it for Ark.
We need to keep going. We've got some more time to waste. We're going to be going 36 minutes.
Oh no. Well, we've still got to talk about the upcoming Wipe for Rust on Thursday and what stuff that entails.
Well, I'm definitely thinking front to back. I think that's important.
Yeah, you should always wipe front to back.
You should. You can get all sorts of diseases nowadays. So yeah, Rust Wipe on Thursday. So we have a new map coming. We're actually gathering players. I think through the course of this wipe, we've had probably
15?
approaching. No, there's more than that.
No, more than that.
There's way more
16?
than that. No, we're probably
19,
approaching 25-ish.
Yeah.
People who have played this wipe, so it's not been bad. We have a completely new map coming. This one is going to be Cataclysm. So this is going to be a sort of bombarded, dead cityscape of collapsed high-rise towers and all sorts of stuff like that. It's going to have an undead theme to it. And we have a new event coming as well. So as with the previous map, events were sort of singular and frequent. This map is going to be specific event and is going to be a little bit more often. So this time you're going to be defending a base against a zombie horde. So this is going to be your loot sort of source, this map. There's going to be a building. There's 5 different buildings, so we have some variation to it. I think there's actually more than 5, but there's definitely 5 at least. Different variations of a compound, and your job basically is to rescue the colonel, fortify the compound, and stave off a zombie horde event. You don't have to finish the whole thing, so it's going to be a case of if you complete wave 1, a crater's going to unlock, you get cool loot. If you get wave 2, second crater unlocks, yada yada yada. But yeah, very excited about the new Rust Wipe. We've still got some stuff we're currently working on. And big news for this afternoon is we were talking loot balancing. And those that have been playing have definitely been feeding back on loot balancing. I've figured out a way now how to circumvent it, changing every single NPC into a heavy NPC. Heavy NPCs are kind of like the epics of Rust. So as you can imagine, if every NPC on the map is dropping the same loot table as a heavy NPC, I think at the end of this wipe, there were far too many L96s in the game. There were far too many big weapons. So we can now rebalance the entire NPC status to put the right NPCs in the right places. It's going to be a job, but I'm going to try and get it in for Thursday. I think tomorrow is going to be almost primarily dedicated to sorting that out. And if we have anybody with some real good NPC knowledge of Rust, hit me up and we need to chat. I think figuring out where the NPCs should be is going to be the bit. I've got a list of all the NPCs that should be there, and I know roughly which monuments the heavies should be in. But if anybody who's been playing has any real input into exactly where heavies should be, give me a DM or a shout or stick it in Rust feedback, and we shall chat. But yeah, massively excited about the new wipe. It's going to be really cool.
So, what you AT commented, he said Last of Us. And my response to that is yes, actually, the map looks very similar to the cityscapes that you were seeing in The Last of Us, and probably a bit of I Am Legends thrown in. It looks really cool. And yes, then there is obviously the zombie event. So it is pretty damn cool.
It is kind of
obviously
a Rust crossover with something like Last of Us, 7 Days to Die. We want to change things, so each map is going to progress differently and have like a different theme to it. And it's going to take that, it's a new map, it's a new wipe. Oh, okay, here we go again, feeling out of it, because there's going to be custom events per map. Have something to look forward to when your favourite map comes around. We have one more to get. I know what it's going to be. I don't want to reveal it just yet because it's also as cool as the Cataclysm map. And then we've also got 3 smaller maps, which I'm going to fit into the cycle as well. I think we can have some fun with some smaller maps in different ways. Wipe should be happening about 7 p.m. Thursday night. It's completely up to them when they push the patch, but I want to try and get it out as fast as we possibly can. He who sort of wipes first gets the most players. And if we get a good return of players this time, those who've played on this wipe all appear sort of on the new wipe pretty quickly, I think we stand a good chance of grabbing some new guys as well. We've already had about 4 or 5 in the past 2 days. Things are definitely taking off Rust-wise. It's looking good.
And just a reminder that the first 3 weeks of the monthly wipe, there is no base raiding, no door camping, so you will get to experience all the events on the map and play and build. Obviously, you can still get into PvP combat out in the wild, but it's a softcore server, so you don't lose all your gear.
Yeah, we have some developments on that actually. We've actually come up with a way and figured out how to stop your primary weapon that was in your hand at the time of death actually dropping now. We have the code for that, and I just need to pop it on the test server at some point, either later tonight or tomorrow. Confirm it's all good. But now you won't be losing your prized gun on the floor and not able to find it when you die. All good?
So our version of Rust is becoming a lot more enjoyable and entertaining, and I think should appeal to many more people.
Yeah. All our events on that server are PvE as well. So while you're partaking in things like the Zombie Horde event, just for the fun of it, you cannot be killed by opposing teams. And as Baki says, everyone has actually been quite chivalrous this time round, up to and including giving guns back when you kill somebody, just because it's more fun that way. So don't think Rust and think toxic environment, load of shitty people all trying to kill each other. Yes, it kind of is, but it isn't like that at all so far. It's been a really, really good playthrough last wipe, I think. I only killed you once unarmed, okay? And you were aggressively approaching me. I didn't know you were not armed. You had 2 arms. I mean...
He also had a whole bandolier of grenades behind his back, but he wasn't going to tell you that.
It was at the start of the last wipe. He did come up behind me to say, apparently, hello, and I turned around and clocked him one.
Oh, dear.
I was ass naked too.
So that's kind of all the news that we've got for you this week. Let's take any. I think it's time for questions and suggestions, because we're getting back into our suggestions. As we worked through a lot last week. So let's see, what have we got going on? Does anybody have any questions? Hot topic of conversation in the art community at the moment is trading.
Yes.
And giving things away. Mentioned already, but any news on improving the Genesis loot crates? The Genesis loot crates on Genesis 2 are default, other than the fact they've had shards added to them. I am not touching them with a barge pole.
They're horrible.
It's a nightmare, that one. Same goes for Genesis mission loot. To do with all this mutagel from votes, convert it into mutagen and
Yeah.
feed it to your dinos.
Yes.
Next question. What does that do?
Gives them levels.
Yeah, or good point. Or tame a strider.
Or tame a strider. You know, there is. Okay, then.
Good points
Discussion point. Sorry?
There's a good points there. Mutagen does give 5 extra points in each stat.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you're voting heavily, level those dinosaurs up.
That's why we
If
put
it's
it
not
in there.
imprinted.
That's primarily why it's in the vote reward, because it's a pain in the backside to get.
It is.
Also, by the way, this will mean the changes we're doing to the loot tables will mean the luck potions are more effective.
Woohoo! You can also get if you play on a map, you can tame a vanilla Leopleurodon. It gives a buff to your luck for 6 hours.
If you can find them.
Yes, they are very rare.
I throw mine in the grinder. I mean,
Right, lava. I like that.
jump on them and ride out into a lava lake, see which one lasts the longest.
Well,
rock
I'm
walls
not
in it
Dutch.
and get eaten by acid.
I'm not Dutch.
Your free little dinos that you get from voting, they're not really aimed at your end game player. They're more just a nice little bonus for somebody that's just starting out and, here's a random dino. Thanks for your vote.
I forgot to mention Glorious Death. We have some rusty players in here. The image Scorp's just posted is something we came up with while we were literally just dicking around, wondering why you can't shoot someone in the face with a spaz shotgun or blow them up and have them be launched. So we came up with our own mod. Scorp's very proud of that. That's actually Scorp being shot in the face there by a spaz shotgun and yeeted into the sea.
Love it.
This is actually selling on Codefling right now. Even when dicking around, we're creating new content.
Quick question. How many episodes of The Last of Us have aired?
3? I'm waiting for some
3.
more. Yeah. If it's that good, then I'm going to want to binge watch it.
I'm actually finding that binge watching stuff sometimes actually puts me off it now. The wait and the anticipation of having to wait a few days to watch the next one. And yeah, I don't know. You can burn out on a show. I've found shows that I really, really, really like. Like I was watching Z Nation, and I watched it and I burnt out on it so hard. I've got 6 episodes left of the entire thing, and I just can't bring myself to watch it.
Question from 80 there. I'm wondering, was there a mention of raidable base event? How would it work since a lot of players are at different points? A fresh server and can only transfer out with loot? The raidable bases, if that's what you're about on the event server, are going to be like spawnable structures. Just like the bosses just spawn in, the structure itself will pop in. And you get to take a load of C4 with you and a few dinosaurs and wreck the entire place. So we can have many different versions of different sort of difficulty levels if we so wanted to. They're not like fixed structures. They spawn in and out when finished and clean the map up themselves automatically. Dinos can definitely attack structures, can't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinos can break structures in raidable bases. Yes, they can.
If you have a Bracky, they can destroy even tick.
But the good point about being able to pop these bases in and out is they can technically exist in the same space. So you don't have to clutter the server up with 40 buildings. We just pop them in when we need them, and when the player's finished, they pop back out again. I'm playing with some optimization for this as well, so they can actually render right in front of you and unload themselves quite happily without kicking anybody. Really cool.
It isn't PvP per se in Mormad. It's a basic kill, but you can, if you like PvP, you can do tribal wars with another tribe.
It basically simulates a tribe war between two factions. It'll be the tribe that's actually doing the raidable base goes to war with the fictional tribe that's created with the raidable base. Much the same way as you can do that in game now. If you sort of went to war with Sandy's tribe, the two of you could fight consensually, and I believe you can turn that off when you want. So if that's actually enabled cross cluster, so if anybody does fancy a good scrap, you can actually go onto a map neither of you've been on and make a couple of bases and fight each other.
Yeah. I think it lasts an hour, I think, default.
Yeah, because bases and tribes are map specific. So if you decided you were going to build something on Valguerrero and you've never been there before, and you convince another tribe to fight you and they haven't been there before, you can't just go over to Extinction and raid their main base. It's tribe specific to that map.
Yeah.
And yes, that has come up several times, Rust style art map. Kind of the same way we're set up for Rust, but set up for Ark. Well, you've got Rust. Why do you need an Ark PvP map? Dinosaurs, yeah, fair play.
Can't exactly say Ark PvP is really much about the dinosaurs. Like rocket spam and strapping C4 to bulb dogs and soaking turrets. It's just a bit meh.
Yeah. Just tame a Titanosaur and go ham on the bases.
Oh, fellows got nerfed, didn't they?
I would say survival of the fittest is a much better implementation of PvP for Ark.
That one you just gotta read on too.
You can only, yes. Due to how the tribes work in Ark, the tribes are different per map. So you can absolutely have one tribe on one map and solo, and you can be in a tribe on another map. No problem.
Mm-hmm. No problem at all. We had long conversations about forcing same tribe membership across all maps. While it would make our administration of the maps a lot easier, it would cause problems when you wanted to do stuff. So we decided not to do that.
Yeah, another good question. So Theo, DJ never got a response earlier. Do you know if the purple crates, like those from Aberration, will be changing with the update or staying the same?
Now, you've got to be careful here because there's purple cave crates and purple surface crates.
Yeah.
I'm not touching surface loot. There are purple cave crates, and that's what I was saying earlier. They're specific to certain maps. Actually, let's have a look. Yeah, Aberration Dungeon Purple. I'm not touching those.
And that's the cave loots.
Yeah,
The surface ones are the other one.
that's
That's
if
the
you
common
want.
one.
If you want an ascended hazard suit, go after the purple chests on Ab. Aberration surface purple. Yes, that is vanilla. All aberration loot is yeah, surface loot is vanilla. You have it's actually surface yellow, surface purple, and surface blue. They're looking at the loot tables in there though. They're just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The loot qualities, but we've upped the multiplier on the quality of the loot for aberration surface to exceed what you should be getting on vanilla, but it still really doesn't make it any good. Yes.
Yeah.
All supporter ranks renew tomorrow. So your points will be coming in automatically throughout the day.
Yeah. And if anybody is unfamiliar, because I've seen this come up a few times, we have to, at the moment, process everything on the 1st. So if you're looking to get a supporter pack and it's, say, the 28th, if you don't want to be charged twice in a short period, yes, you absolutely should wait till the 1st. It's just a limitation of the systems we use, and there's not really much we can do about it yet, I don't think, is there?
Not really. No. Ooh, no, not really. We're working towards being able to allow you to change your dates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, then that creates a massive headache for us.
Taken us nearly a year and a half to get through to PayPal to get us upgraded, hasn't it? I mean, things take time. PayPal are vicious.
They have to access certain features in the PayPal system. They have requirements in place that say you have to have a certain amount of cash running through PayPal in a period of time, and there's no way we meet that requirement. But at the end of the day, we eventually got them to upgrade us, so then we could update our software to the latest version, which then allows us to have access to functionality for changing bill dates and pausing, suspending, all sorts of weird, wonderful toys.
Yeah. And thank you, Oni. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All donations and stuff like that absolutely go towards keeping the servers in tip-top condition, keeping the hardware paid for. It's expensive stuff, so yeah, that's really, really appreciated. That's why we push the boat out so often, because it's, you guys support us, you deserve it. It's really cool.
We got another question about the Federation shards dropping off Fenrir on Fjordjaw. Yes, they will be changed over when the loot update goes out.
Nice.
Woohoo!
So the little doggy will stop dropping element and start dropping Fed shards.
Fine.
Thank you.
Hey, I've been putting off this loot update for ages. It's a pain.
Anything like that is always a massive job. It's
What was most annoying and what was putting me off the most was I had it all set up, so I have all these like loot tables and groups of items that drop, and they're all labeled and stuff. And when you put them into a loot table, they automatically scale to the right levels and do all this kind of cool stuff. And then one day, the software that I use decided just to wipe all my presets. At which point, I was just like, no. So yeah. We still have the loot table saved, but not the data that allowed us to build them easily in the first place. So I had to go back and recreate all that. It's pain. I think that's it.
It is? Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
No.
I just wanted to do a quick sum up. No maintenance tomorrow. Maintenance on Thursday. All big changes happening on Thursday. So mod update, new Rust map, new season on Rust, loot table changes for Arc. So lots going on. I think that just about covers it all.
Yes. If anybody wants to look at the new Rust map, there is a video up on the YouTube, our YouTube, so you can glorify and have a look at the new cool stuff that's coming. If interested and you haven't seen it already.
Yes, get up here. Cave loot changes on Thursday.
All the good things are coming on Thursday. And then I'm going to sleep for a week. There's the video. Look at. Thank you, John. Is Kara's icon coming on Thursday? This is really important.
Yes, it is. It's in.
Woohoo!
Oh, we're now excited.
That reminded me, actually. Somebody said something. Conversation that keeps recurring in feedback about the Arc cluster. Allow the transfer of trophies. No, what are they called?
Yes.
Yeah, the impact
allow
trophies.
the trophy transfers and block the artifact transfers. Basically, reverse them.
Yeah, tributes. That's it. Allow tribute transfer cross cluster and block artifact transfer.
Who was it the other day that had a really good reasoning for that as well and came across with some really good comments? People can scroll back far enough. There was a really, really, really good discussion about that the other day, which I was really impressed with. People were just totally on point.
Yeah, the spine of sales and Ireland are like, well,
Well, there is a daily quest in there actually now that will give you some spino sales.
oh, that's cool.
That's one you want to do. If you get that quest, travel to the island and boom. No, just check your daily quest daily, and as soon as you get the Spino sale one, hop over to the island, complete the quest, and store your sales for a rainy day.
We did have some talk, didn't we, about a randomization of a daily quest too?
Yeah, we could re-roll it with sell it as a kit on the shop.
Yeah.
Let you re-roll your daily quest.
Kind of Dark Tide. Hate your weekly. Reroll.
No, I don't think I'd block you from transferring some stuff from one map to the other. It's the whole idea behind it is like, you know, you can take a stack of meat from one server to the other. Why can't you take a stack of Basilo blubber or Spino sales? It just seems dumb. However, you can't transfer.
That's a very good question.
Yeah. And you can't transfer elements between servers, but you can take this weird and wonderful technological marvel that is an artifact that's glowing and pulsing with all sorts of weird energy. So thematically, it makes no sense the way it is now. From a progression point of view, like the maps were designed so you progress through the caves, you get the artifacts by doing the caves, and then you get to do the bosses, and away you go. They weren't like designed so that you fly over to Arguero, zoom around on some sort of a wyvern for half an hour, get all the artifacts you need, come back to the island, and then suddenly you've got access to things that you really should have no right to have access to. So it's kind of, I think they've got it arse backwards. Either that, or you allow the transfer of artifacts between storyline maps and block it between DLC. Yeah, exactly. CI Valguero. That it's the DLC, the free DLC maps that are not part of the storyline that really mess up the progression.
Thoughts and feedback then?
Definitely.
The CI artifacts also spawn back very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Compared to the island.
To Gerpier's point there, the element carrot and the stick thing, it was also, again, it was a thematic thing that I was trying to fix with the compression of the element. The whole idea behind that is you compress it into a state where it's stable for transfer, but not usable as element. And then as part of the process of converting it back to something useful, you do lose a bit until obviously you get the more efficient engram at the higher level. So I felt it should be transferable, but I wanted to try and keep within the storyline. So that's why we can create compressed element.
I like that.
Lore is important.
So
Yes.
it's also a hell of a lot easier than converting it to dust and going through that whole faff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole artifact trophy tribute thing is an ongoing bugbear to me, and I would love to get everybody on the same page on that one.
Shout very loud in feedback, basically, is the answer to that.
Completely.
If you have massive objections, give us good reasons.
Yeah, so this is actually something that's come up, and it's kind of very obvious. People say or have said that we pay more attention to certain individuals in the community than others. And I would say, yes, that's true, because there are some people in the community who articulate their ideas and thoughts very well. They communicate them effectively in the feedback channels and through suggestions and everything else. And because it's normally well thought out, well communicated, constructive feedback, yes, we will take it on board and listen to it. If there is a counter to that piece of feedback, but it's not put in a feedback channel in a constructive and useful way, we won't pay any attention to it. It's quite simple. So if you want to be heard, you have to talk. If you don't talk, we will kind of ignore you because you're not talking. That makes sense.
It all sounds kind of obvious. But
it's like I've had people say to me before, it's like, oh my God, you're ignoring me. You're not taking me seriously and all this stuff. And it's like, well, when was the last time you actually told me your thoughts on this matter? Or when was the last time you countered, you said that person in a constructive way was wrong? And they're like, oh yeah, we didn't. Well, we can't help you unless you help us. So it's a two-way street there. We go with what we're given. So feedback channel, super useful. If you can't type in the feedback channel, it's because you're not talking enough. So that kind of answers that question. Giveaways. Sometimes we do giveaways, sometimes we don't. It depends.
I was planning to do something today.
What do you got for us, Sandy?
I'm thinking between what I told you and what Turtle said there. What do you think?
Turtle said there. What did Turtle say? Not that I was ignoring Turtle. I'm just massively trying to look at too many screens at once.
Give us a quick clue in admin chat.
There.
I'm guessing it's got something to do with some sort of turtle icon with Turtle there.
No, I pointed at it in the stream chat.
Conga.
Mm.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Conga, but it did destroy the server.
Yes, yes, it did.
It was a really cool concept, but we absolutely battered it into submission with the massive turnout of people riding shiny dinos.
Yes.
Maybe we have a massive turnout of people not riding shiny dinos to go after shiny dinos.
Mm.
Or we do it on foot.
Yes. Let's start somewhere then, when it's not nighttime on the island, perhaps. I can't see anything. I'm blind.
Oh, remember we've got our little catch up after this.
Yes.
This is me on the island right now. I don't see anything.
I was kind of buying time till GD got home. That was kind of my point of wasting a bit more time. But yes, I believe we are done.
I was going to say that's fine. You can do at least one run on Vampire Survivors.
Don't start me because I won't be going to bed. That game is terrible.
It's 8:15. You have some self control. Just like go right an
I
hour,
have
2 runs,
no
job done.
How long have you known me? I don't have any self control. I started playing that when I bought it at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. GD bought it at 12, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, we both sort of like looked up and were like, "Holy shit, we're going to bed." It was like 14 hours straight. It's horrible, but so addictive.
Yes.
Congo is a style of dancing, yes. You're obviously not familiar with the Shiny Conga event we did, where basically we had as many players as we could get riding the shiny dinos through the island map in a big conga line, whilst one of the admins was up front turning dinos randomly into shinies so that people could tame them on the way through.
Yeah.
It was really cool, but we crucified the whole server. Hence this
There were so
time we're
many
probably going to have to do it on foot.
There was so many particles of shiny that the server was like.
I actually wanted to record it because it would have looked so cool, but I think by the time everyone joined, and I wasn't expecting the turnout, I think we were down to about 3 FPS by the time we'd all got there.
Yeah.
Server tick rate hit about 2, and then we got shouted at, and we had to stop.
The server did not like.
But I think what that was the sheer amount of shinies and particles in one spot. We could absolutely do that on foot, and just bring some miniguns and stuff and just plow stuff down as we go. It'd be cool, maybe.
Yeah. I am on the. Yeah, why not? I'm going to the island and standing there by the trading post for now.
Little Ducky only joined 3 days ago. Welcome to WNG, the most awesome place to be for dinosaurs.
Yes.
Good choice. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there then. We have been the Wicked Ninjas this week. You have all been awesome, as usual. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget downtime is on Thursday. Please, no surprises. Where's the servers gone? Why is the server gone? Where's the server gone? Who is the server? Yeah. I'm still waiting for in the morning when somebody's listed to Roundtable. Wipe? What wipe?
Oh. We got a map down. It seems. Turtle reports.
15. I'll have a quick look before we jump into another chat. Right, good night, guys. We will see you next week or possibly tomorrow.
Bye.